Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Ultimate Summer Challenge webinar. We're just going to get started in a minute or two and let people trickle in, and then we'll get started very shortly. Thanks so much for joining us. We've got a couple people who joined us already, so that's great. We'll give it another minute or so. Got a couple more people trickling in. Okay. I think we can probably get started, so I will jump right in. My name is Anne Logan, and I'm the Associate Director of Development here at the Calgary Public Library Foundation. Welcome to our webinar all about the Ultimate Summer Challenge. Before we begin, I just wanted to start with a land acknowledgement. With gratitude, mutual respect, and reciprocity, we acknowledge the ancestral home, culture, and oral teachings of the Treaty 7 signatories, which includes the Siksika Nation, Pagani Nation, Kainai Nation, the Awithika Stony Nakota Nation, consisting of the Chiniki, Bears Pond, Goodstoney bands, and the people of the Tsuut'ina Nation. The city of Calgary is also homeland to the historic Northwest Métis and the Ottumwa Métis Government, Métis Nation Battle River Territory, Nose Hill Métis District 5, and Elbow Métis District 6. At Calgary Public Library, we celebrate stories, the stories of the community and the land that we live on. We serve the community on Winchispa, Gutsinsis, and Mukinsis, which describes the gathering place where the Bow and Elbow rivers meet. We respect all people who share, celebrate, and care for the Treaty 7 territory of Southern Alberta, and we honor the original caretakers of the land who remind us of the ongoing histories that precede us. We recognize our shared responsibilities going forward to help bring everyone together on this journey of truth and reconciliation. So for those of you who aren't familiar with us, the Calgary Public Library Foundation is a nonprofit organization that serves the Calgary Public Library system by inspiring donors to help enhance the wonderful services and programs that are offered by the library. We've raised over $80 million to date, which has helped fund countless programs, new collection items, and increase literacy in our community. One of the library's signature programs, and its largest, is the Ultimate Summer Challenge. This is the library's summer reading program, and it is beloved by kids, teens, and adults alike. This is also a donor-funded program, and we are so grateful to you, our community of donors, for making this remarkable program possible every year. So today we are joined by Kate Schutz, Calgary Public Library's Service Design Lead for school-aged children and educators. In her role, Kate is integral to designing and implementing the Ultimate Summer Challenge. Today, Kate is going to chat with us a bit about the successes of the 2025 Ultimate Summer Challenge, as well as a sneak peek of what's ahead for school-aged kids in 2026 at the library. I just want to mention a few housekeeping items before we begin. We are recording this webinar, and you will receive a link to the presentation following its conclusion. We will leave time at the end of the presentation for a brief question and answer period, so you guys can just type those in into the Q&A box on the side there. And you can access it by just clicking on the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. So it is now my pleasure to hand things over to Kate. Welcome, Kate.
Hi, thanks so much, Anne. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep, great. Okay. Well, yes, let's get started. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks everybody for joining. Um, we can begin. Next slide, please. So I always start my presentations with sharing a little bit about myself and the work I do at the library. So as Anne mentioned, I'm senior service designer, and my portfolio encompasses everything the library does for children that are 5 to 12 years old, as well as our relationship to educators and our school board partners. I'm also quite involved with program design and service design for arts and culture initiatives. My background is in arts and culture. I have my Master's of Education, and I'm very pleased to be able to work in an area that I'm passionate about, the public library that's so supportive. So I started with the library in 2016. And when I started, my role was new, and I wanted to write a guiding document that would shape our work. So launched in 2019 was the school age strategy. And I have updated it this year with some research, post-COVID research. The aim of the strategy is to support educators and caregivers of elementary children, ages 5 to 12, through our programs, services, collections, and spaces. So in terms of our 6 main strategic areas for programs and services, you can see on the little puzzle wheel on the right there, summer learning is a distinct category because of the library's historic commitment to summer reading and our ongoing commitment to keeping kids reading and learning when school is not in session. The consequences for children not reading in July and August can be more serious than people realize. So when we speak about summer learning loss, or you may have heard of summer slide, this is the loss of knowledge that occurs over the summer holidays when children do not continue to read and learn new things at the rate that they do in school. Next slide. All right, so I love this quote because I think it really emphasizes the consequence of summer learning, especially for children who might be in equity deserving communities who just don't have access to books or learning support during the summer in the same way that other children have. Next slide. A few stats for you that I've pulled up recently. These are Canadian stats. By September, children with less supports may lose up to 2 months of reading and numeracy skills. And 22% of the new school year can be spent reteaching materials and skills. By 5th grade, a low-income student could be up to 2.5 years behind their peers. And this is a big problem because 2/3 of the grade 9 achievement gap can be attributed to summer slide in early elementary school. The good news is reading 12 to 15 self-selected books that they chose themselves and that they love over the summer improves reading as much as if they went to summer school. This is really impressive. So with those stats in mind and with the research in mind, we designed the Ultimate Summer Challenge. And similar to this quote, we have confirmed that the most effective way is also the most pleasant way. So the aim of the Ultimate Summer Challenge is to make reading and learning throughout the summer fun. Next slide. In 2018, I was tasked with leading the redesign of the library summer program and wanted to take it from a reading-only program to a learning program. We were one of the first Canadian public libraries to make that shift. The Ultimate Summer Challenge is an integration of a variety of formats that challenges Calgarians of all ages to read every day. Although we have a family, teen, and adult challenge, the challenge for elementary school children is the most popular. Ultimate Summer Challenge also includes hands-on pop-up activities, community outreach programs, books, displays, and activity stations, external presentations and performances, tracking reading digitally on pen or digitally or on paper, and also online challenges. The main thing is that the Ultimate Summer Challenge capitalizes on the magic of summer and helps kids discover new things, pursue a passion more deeply, and be delighted by the energetic activity that's taken over the local library. I'll be showing you some images of that. This program is rooted in inquiry and supports curricular connections and the integration of experiences for school-aged children in 3 key areas of impact. Supporting school readiness, so for those little guys getting ready to go into kindergarten and grade 1, reducing the effects of summer slide, and fostering social emotional growth. Next slide. So inviting people to participate in the Ultimate Summer Challenge begins as early as May. And we do quite a few different things. There's some images here of our posters and our social media campaigns. But also we visit classrooms virtually and in person. So in 2025, we visited 191 classes through our virtual programs. We had 8 live virtual events, and that served 4,775 kids. So you can see a tweet there on the left from a teacher thanking us for our virtual presentation. Calgary Library, you had me hooked with puppies and slime. Thank you for sharing the Ultimate Summer Challenge. So we have a large educator audience that really promotes the program to their students before the end of the summer. Okay, next slide. During the summer, we promote the challenge in lots of different ways via social media, which we know is one of the best ways for us to reach the caregivers of young children. So lots of parents are on social media. And parents even send us fun messages like this tweet in the top right that says, "Thank you to Calgary Library. My grade 3 came home yesterday bursting with excitement about all the things happening at the library this summer. Mom, can we go to the library every week?" You bet we can, kiddo. That was a nice one to see. So you can see that we have very high engagement on our website as well as on our social media with 363,270 social media impressions throughout the summer. And down at the bottom there just shows a little bit of like the high impact imagery that entices folks to participate. And they can join the Ultimate Summer Challenge at any time during the summer, which is really great. So we continue promoting all summer long. All right, next slide. So this year, as always, elementary kids were our largest participant group, but the adults in their lives are not far behind. For many years, adults asked us to have an Ultimate Summer Challenge. And so in 2023, we introduced the adult version. Research shows that 57% of kids who are frequent readers have caregivers who can be seen reading 5 to 7 days per week. And so a growing number of adults reading during the summer is a statistic we like to see because we know that they're modeling and influencing the kids in their life. Next slide. Of course, a major aspect of the Ultimate Summer Challenge is reading. So what is the challenge? The challenge is to read every day in July and August. When we moved from summer reading to summer learning, we also moved away from timed reading. Being a fast reader is not as important as being a regular reader. And so we wanted to emphasize and celebrate a reading habit, especially for those with low literacy in our city. 42% of the total reading hours logged online were from kids ages 6 to 12. There's lots of different ways that we count reading, including listening to audiobooks and reading ebooks or being read to, even for children as little as 1 year old. All right, next slide. So can you go up a slide, Jody? Sorry, to track. There we go. So as I mentioned, there's 2 ways to track your reading. Any participant can track on paper, and you won't believe the beautiful colored maps that we see. So every day coloring in a different shape for that week. And then next slide. You can also track your reading by recording in our Beanstack app. This Beanstack is a program that encourages reading by presenting online challenges, and public libraries can use it to create their own challenges. So the Ultimate Summer Challenge lives in Beanstack. This screenshot here is from our teens page, and online is the #1 way that teens engage with us in the summer. And so they love the online challenge. The Beanstack app is really cool because you can record your reading in lots of different ways, and it's available for free for any library card holder, and it's compatible with cell phones. So we see a lot of families who don't have computers at home or who rely on the library for their digital access, but they can use this on their phone, and they really like it. All right, next slide. So you can earn. For every 7 days of reading, participants download a digital badge, like one of those ones at the top there, or they can come to their library location for a cute little sticker that they can add to their map. I really loved the stickers this year. Obviously, the theme was gardening. You can see the little caterpillar sticker. He's reading The Very Hungry Caterpillar. And the bee on the right-hand side is reading The Great Gatsby. We like a pun at the library. All right, next slide. Share. All right. We know that kids love to share their accomplishments, and spoiler alert, adults do too. So for every 7 days of reading, participants may hang up a USC badge, a paper badge, to share what they're reading. These badges not only transform the look of our locations every summer, but they also act as a peer book recommendation wall. Kids love to see what other kids their own age are reading. 5,199 Ultimate Summer Challenge badges were completed in library locations in 2025. Next slide. Now, wouldn't be a challenge if there wasn't something you could win. And we have so many great prizes as part of the Ultimate Summer Challenge. So our grand prizes are available to anyone who registers. You don't have to finish your map. You don't have to finish your digital download badges. You just have to register. Any participant is eligible for a grand prize. And that ranges from tech prizes like iPads and laptops to the ever desirable video game consoles and bicycles, to experiences like a family pass to the zoo, a customized book, or special VIP parties after dark at Central, which is what the picture on the left is. In addition, anybody that brings in their completed map or completes the challenge online receives a little pin, a collectible pin. And so we have different ones each year, and people love really collecting those and showing them off. Kids put them on their backpacks, and I've seen lots of moms put them on the diaper bag. So it's really fun way to show that you spent the summer reading. Okay. Next slide. So during the summer, while most of the actual reading is happening at home, what happens at libraries during the summer months is really important too. Play and fun are prominent at the library all year, but it's more ultimate in the summer. So you can see some images of the great and fantastic play that happens at our libraries. So I'm going to share a little bit about how kids and families can play at the library, and how we amplify the play during the summer. Next slide, please. So if you are familiar with the library, you probably have been to an early learning center. At 12 libraries across the city, there are 13 early learning centers that are packed all the time, but especially in the summer. Early learning centers offer activities, books, and toys for kids ages 0 to 5 and their caregivers to learn through play in an age-appropriate, safe space. Each early learning center is built around a distinct concept, and it's designed to be flexible, open-ended, and fun. Our second outdoor early learning center is opening soon at Signal Hill. So Forest Lawn has an indoor learning center and an outdoor one, and soon Signal Hill will have both an indoor and an outdoor, which is so exciting. So I love some of these images here of the kids using our early learning centers in a different way. Of course, we have Engine 23, the fire truck, which is in the top middle there at Fish Creek Library. We have a helicopter at Seton Library, not sure if you knew that. And I love this little girl in the orange shirt. She's got a flight tube there. So that thing pushes up air and you can put anything in it and fly it all around the library. So kids love doing that. It looks like she's gonna put that fabric in there. All right. On the right-hand side, the little girl in the blue dress, she is reading on top of one of our reading nooks. So we also have really special places where children and families can read together in our libraries. And it's a really important part of our early learning centers. Next slide. The questionarium. This is a project close to my heart. This is one of the projects I led when I started at the library. We heard from a lot of big kids that it wasn't fair that the teens had their own space and the little kids had their own space and they didn't have anything. And I agreed. So we created the questionarium. There are 6 questionariums: Central, Seaton, Shaughnessy, Crowfoot, Nose Hill, and Fish Creek. And they are play spaces for kids ages 6 to 12. They're located in our children's collection among the books that are for these kids. And they are just for those elementary school guys. Siblings are allowed if they let them. Each questionarium contains mobile, modular, adaptive, and interactive zones that emphasize 6 primary ways of learning: build and make, creative expression, problem solving and challenges, idea sharing, physical play, and retreat. So what's really fun about the questionarium is that our staff are trained to animate and activate the spaces. So there's different activities happening in there all the time. And sometimes they're themed to what's happening in the world. So there might be some activities for Remembrance Day, or there might be some activities for Orange Shirt Day, but they're also themed around the interests of the kids. And so they're very flexible spaces where the kids get to have a say in what happens there. And during the Ultimate Summer Challenge, our staff really animate the spaces and they are so fun. All right, next slide. We play at the library in the summer, but we also learn. Summer learning amps up in July and August with double the registered and drop-in programs for kids. We take advantage of our outdoor spaces, having the daytime availability of our teen volunteers, and also the incredible organizations that want to expand their audiences through partnership with us. Our locations are full of pop-up experience with artists, performers, storytellers, and more particularly during our Ultimate Summer Party in mid-July. So every summer, in about the middle, each location gets to throw their own Ultimate Summer Party, and they can theme it in whatever way they want and hire a variety of different performers or storytellers. It's super, super fun. So to gauge the success of this year's party, some comparisons were made with 2024. And the only difference there was that we couldn't include Fish Creek because it was having a renovation and Skyview was not yet open. But overall, on the citywide party date in 2025, library visitation increased by 33% compared to an average Saturday in 2024. We also continue to offer our very popular year-round programs in the summer, but they are more often and at more locations. I'd like to highlight a few of those curriculum-connected, fun, high-quality, and free programs that we offer children all year long. Next slide. Make It Messy Art and Science. Very fun, very messy drop-in program for families. You can see here that it's really about exploring process and ideas and allowing kids to feel free to have fun with art and science at the library. This program takes place during out of school hours. So it might be offered during spring break or on PD days, but during the Ultimate Summer Challenge, most of our libraries offer it on a 3-week cycle. Next slide. Reading Buddies is our program for kids in grades K through 6 that get paired with a teen volunteer, and they complete fun games and bookish activities using a video game inspired game board each week. Reading Buddies is a registered program, extremely popular, great way to practice reading and also to be mentored by an older teen. Also an incredible opportunity for our teen volunteers. They absolutely love it, and they develop relationships with these kids over the 6-week session. So during the summer, we offer them in 3-week cycles, and we offer more reading buddies because we have more teen volunteers available because they're out of school too. Next slide. I always like to highlight some of our programs for older kids, preteens and teens. We have coding buddies, code teen, and our teen tech lab. So in these programs, kids explore technology and in a very hands-on way. They use library computers and laptops if they don't have their own. And in the teen tech lab, we have expert volunteers from different sectors in tech and engineering that come in and work with the teens on projects that interest them or questions that they have. So it's very self-directed. These are some really incredible programs that happen all year, but again, are offered even more often during the summer. Next slide. Numeracy. When I was hired at the library, one of my first tasks, even before the Ultimate Summer Challenge, was to redevelop the numeracy programs at the library. And between you and I thought maybe I might get fired because numeracy is not my skill set. But what I did was I thought a lot about what was math and numeracy like for me when I was a little kid, and what would have made me interested in it. And so out of that ideation and a lot of amazing work with our staff and the community, we developed MathQuest. And so MathQuest is a drop-in program for any kids, usually attracts kids in grades 1 through 6, but we do have challenges that are challenging enough for middle schoolers as well. And we have teen volunteers as well as adult math experts volunteering to lead the program. So you can see here that the kids approach the MathQuest cart, they pull a challenge card, and the objective is to complete the quest in whatever way needs to happen. So some of the quests are games that they play with another child or a volunteer, and some of them are numeracy challenges that they have to do using the library. So you can see this little girl is measuring the height of the bookshelves. The MathQuest cart has all kinds of different tools and paper and calculators and everything that they might need to solve their quest. And once they solve their quest, they can come and pull another challenge from the cart. All the challenges are color-coded by difficulty, and they align with the math curriculum. Next slide. I have a very short little video that I'm going to ask Jody to play in a moment. Hopefully that works out on this Zoom platform. It's just 30 seconds long, but I thought it would be really important for you to hear about the impact of the Ultimate Summer Challenge from the participants themselves. Can you give it a try, Jody? Maybe not from the slideshow.
Yep, seems like I can't play it, but we can send it out after the webinar.
Perfect. And it's on the library's YouTube page actually too. So maybe if you want to look for it, we could play it after the webinar too. Awesome. Okay, we'll leave it, but it's very cute. And I really like it because it's the first year, I think this was filmed in 2024, the first year that we interviewed kids and we heard from kids about their experience. And it's always really validating to hear from them and know that it's impactful, that they love it, that they have fun, and to see their growth over the summer. So it's worth watching for sure. Okay, next slide. Well, my presentation is almost done, but I did want to share the success of 2025, which was that we had 19,796 Calgarians participate in the Ultimate Summer Challenge. That was an overall registration increase of 15% from 2024, which is incredible. Every year it grows and grows. And I can tell you too that about a quarter, 25% or so, of our participants in the Ultimate Summer Challenge become library members to participate. So they're brand new to the library, so that they can join the challenge, which is incredible. Next slide. Now, Anne promised that we would give you a little sneak peek into what's happening for 2026 and some of the priorities in my work. So I'm very excited to share a multi-year project that I am leading with my colleague, Carrie Kitchen. And we are looking at addressing the question, how might the library better support foundational literacy and the learning to read journey at home? So we know that about 1 in every 5 Canadian students are not reading at grade level, and that statistic is especially pertinent to children living in marginalized communities. Just like summer learning loss affects children with least opportunities, so does literacy. And because the library is free and because we have a mandate to grow the potential in everybody, it was really important that we started to look at how we could support families with learning to read. And so we're starting with children in K to 3, because these are the years where they learn to read at school, and where if they're not reading at grade level by grade 3, it's very, very hard to catch up. So the project began in 2024 with some design research. We interviewed community members, we interviewed literacy specialists and literacy organizations in the city. We interviewed parents, we interviewed kids, we interviewed teachers, and we gathered a whole bunch of research from literature and academic studies. And it led us to developing a plan, a multi-year phased plan for our project. So one of the key findings that came out of the design research was that caregivers and parents struggle with how best to support their kids with learning to read at home. They don't understand how reading is taught in schools. Alberta has a brand new curriculum. It's very based in the science of reading, which is awesome, but it's a different way than many parents were taught. And so in phase 2 this year, we've been really looking at different ways to support families and caregivers to understand learning to read through the everyday interactions that they have at the library with our staff. And part of that then is also staff professional learning. So we've developed quite a lot of staff learning about how children learn to read and how to find a right fit book for a child at different reading stages. And so we've had a very good year, and our year 2 report will be coming out in the early new year, and then we'll be moving into phase 3 in 2026. And this is where we're looking at improving the programs and services that we offer. So we've been pilot testing a program with local nonprofit Can Learn that offers free learn to read programs for children. They've been offering those programs with us for the last year, and we're looking at how we can move ahead in a long-term partnership with them. We're also looking at our existing learn to read programs like Read With Me and Reading Buddies, and how we might grow them because the demand is so high. And we're also looking at areas where we can make the most impact through our programs and services. So I'm really looking forward to some of the pilot testing that we're going to be doing in the coming year, working with both schools and families. And then phase 4 will be future focused. So moving away from that K to 3 audience, we know that some of the biggest areas of opportunity to help improve literacy in Calgary are with older students, preteens and teens, and adults. So we'll be looking at how might the library better support these other audiences. All right, next slide. That's it. That's it for me. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and to be here today. My contact information is on the slide. I welcome any questions at any time. I think we're going to go to a Q&A.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your presentation, Kate. And we did promise some time for questions. So if you do have any, please type them in the box here at the bottom of your screen, the Q&A box. But one of the questions that we had was, I think it surprises some people that we work so closely with teachers and with school boards. And so I was curious if you could just talk a little bit about why you think teachers are so invested in the Ultimate Summer Reading Challenge
Mm.
program and, how you've worked with them in the past to develop it.
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. I love that question. Um, when I started with the library, as I mentioned, my role was new. And the library had a sort of tangential relationship with educators. So if an educator knew which library was closest to their school and approached the librarian, they could arrange a tour. It was very casual, very informal. And I really saw growing our relationship with educators as an opportunity for the library. Particularly because if children don't go to the library with their family, then we want them to come with their teacher. And we want them to use our resources on their school journey and become lifelong readers and lifelong learners. So really made building an educator audience a priority in my work and in the strategic plan. And so we're very, very lucky to have formed formal partnership agreements with both the Calgary Board of Education and the Calgary Catholic School Board. And this means that we meet regularly when school's in session, once every 6 to 8 weeks with superintendents at that level. And we talk about shared initiatives and ways we can support each other's work. So it's an unprecedented opportunity. I have worked at many, many organizations in the city and never had that kind of access and relationship with the school boards. And it's a really incredible way for us to find out what the pressing needs are and for them to learn about all the things that we offer. So as a result, for example, the Calgary Board of Education has a webpage on their internal intranet for teachers that's all about the library. And it gets updated all the time. We send them the newest information. And we were also able to develop an educator e-newsletter this year for teachers to sign up for and receive monthly updates on all the cool things we've got going on. I think teachers love the Ultimate Summer Challenge so much because they know that that stat, 22% of their time will be spent reteaching content from the previous year if students don't keep up with their reading and learning. And they care about their students and they know that it's just so important that they don't experience that summer learning loss. And a connection to the library is a safe and useful way to spend their time in the summer. And we do have a lot of kids whose parents work all summer long and kids need a place to go. So we're so lucky to have the support of educators in the community. And we work really hard to build that relationship every year.
That's awesome. And like something that I really like about Ultimate Summer Reading Challenge with my kids is that it's just so accessible, right? It's not complicated. It's just reading every single day. And I think for some parents who, work full time, it can be really daunting and even the term summer slide can be a bit scary, but luckily, the library makes it easy. And speaking of teachers, we're in week 3 of our the teachers
Yes.
break. So I'm curious if you have any advice on what parents could be doing in the meantime while their kids are out of school. Perhaps it's just following the blueprint of Ultimate Summer Challenge right now and just encouraging kids to read. But I know we have lots of resources on our YouTube channel, right? That you have videos of kind of activities from the pandemic and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of resources. If we have the time, I'll share a few if there's some parents in the audience. So absolutely read every day. I think that's the most important. Read to your children, have them read every day. 15, 20 minutes, it's all it takes. I always say you can read to them while they're brushing their teeth or when they're in the bath. Also on our website, we have access to a lot of incredible resources. So throughout the school year, we offer virtual school programs that are curriculum connected and hosted by experts and artists and really fun people. And those are very, very popular with classrooms. We have those booked. And so we've decided to open them up to the public. And so you can search through our programs page and you can find a lot of virtual online programs that your kids can watch and they're interactive and participate in. We also have the Creative Explorers program and the STEM Learning program. Those are ongoing programs for kids ages 6 to 14. think. And they're all really curriculum connected. If you need support for your older student with schoolwork, we have our digital collection, and one of our resources there is Brain Fuse. Really incredible, tied to the Alberta curriculum outcomes, has quizzes and worksheets. But the best part about it is that it has live tutoring with Alberta tutors, real people, not robots, where kids can pull up a virtual whiteboard and a chat box, and they can ask their questions of these tutors, and they can use the whiteboard together, and they can kind of, get some support with the curriculum. I know this is really helpful as my daughter grows older and I am starting to understand less and less what she's learning in school. Really appreciate having those math and science tutors available live. And the other great feature of Brain Fuse is that students can submit their writing or an essay or a book report and get feedback as well. So if you're concerned about AI and ChatGPT, this is not that. This is real people having a conversation virtually, which is pretty cool.
That's great. And I think, like, especially if you are home with your kids right now, knowing that there's educational things that they can be watching on a screen, so you can feel a little bit less guilty about plopping them in front of an iPad or a computer for a little bit while you get some work done, I know will be a big
It's
help to
true.
parents.
Yeah, it's true. And all our locations are really animating our libraries right now and really focused on kids while they're not in school. So you can find a lot of like fun hands-on activities and worksheets and book displays and things like that at all of our locations.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Kate. I'm going to end the Q&A session now, but you guys will have access to Kate's contact information at the end of that slide that she did, and my contact information is on the screen right now. So please feel free to reach out to us directly, and we'll make sure to get those answers for you as quickly as we can. And I also just wanted to mention that next summer we do not have a presenting donor to support this program yet. So you've heard firsthand today just how impactful it is, how many people in Calgary participate, and we are really committed to ensuring the library can continue to run this program even bigger and better than before. But we do need donor dollars to make that happen. So my ask to you today is this: please share this webinar when you receive it. Talk about how the Ultimate Summer Challenge changes young readers' lives, and share the registration links with your friends. And if you are interested in supporting this library program, or you know someone who might be, please send me a note, give me a call. We're, again, really motivated to ensure that this program continues and continues to change readers' lives. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening today and logging in. And please stay in touch with us. A big thank you to you, Kate, for being with us today and sharing your expertise. It's just so heartwarming to see all the amazing things that the library is doing. And thank you so much for everyone's support and your support of the Library Foundation.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.